Having $10,000 sitting in your bank account is a huge milestone. Take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. According to the Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies, $10,000 is above the non-retirement savings of the median American adult. In other words, you're already ahead of the game, but $10,000, while great, isn't a ticket to lifelong security yet. What you do next will determine if that $10,000 grows into something much more, or just vanishes on expenses. So let's talk about 5 smart things you should do right now to make the most of that $10,000 and set yourself up for future financial success. 1. Set up your emergency fund. The first thing to do is make sure you have a solid emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Imagine your car's transmission suddenly dies or you get an unexpected medical bill. With an emergency fund in place, a $2,000 surprise expense is an inconvenience, not a disaster. Without it, you could be forced to whip out a credit card or loan, putting you right back into debt. Use a portion of that $10,000 to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses, or even more if your income is unstable. This money is your safety net, your buffer against life surprises. Keep your emergency stash accessible but earning. Don't let it just languish in a checking account earning near zero interest. Move it to a high-yield savings account or a short-term CD ladder. These accounts often pay 4 to 5% APY nowadays, meaning your $10,000 can earn hundreds in interest over a year while still staying liquid, so you can withdraw if needed. By setting aside an emergency fund in a safe interest-earning account, you ensure that a curveball expense won't wipe out your progress. It's not the most exciting use of money, but it's the foundation for everything else. Peace of mind is priceless, and this step gives you exactly that. 2. Pay off high-interest debt. Take a good look at any high-interest debt you might have, especially credit card balances, personal loans, or payday loans. It's hard to get ahead when you're paying 20% plus interest on debt. Think about it. Your $10,000 in the bank might earn a few $100 a year in interest or investment gains, but a $10,000 credit card balance could cost you $2,000 plus a year in interest charges. There's no contest. Paying off that debt is like getting a guaranteed return on your money, equal to whatever the interest rate is. You won't find a risk-free 20% investment anywhere, but wiping out a 20% APR credit card is a sure win. Start by targeting your highest interest debts first. For example, if you have a credit card charging 24% APR, prioritize that over a student loan at 5%. Some people like the debt snowball method, paying off the smallest balances first for a quick win. But whichever strategy you choose, the key is to eliminate toxic debt. Use a chunk of your $10,000 to knock those balances down to zero. Not only will you save a ton in interest in the long run, but you'll also free up cash flow each month. The money that was going to minimum payments can now go towards savings and investments. Becoming debt-free is incredibly freeing. It's like giving yourself a raise. Remember, debt cancellation is investment in disguise. Every dollar you pay off is a dollar you no longer owe, plus interest you no longer have to pay. If you're getting value so far, do me a favor. Hit like and subscribe. We keep sharing finance and wealth-building strategies like this, and we don't want you to miss out. 3. Maximize your retirement contributions. With your emergency fund set and high-interest debts on the run, it's time to invest in your future self. One of the smartest moves now is to funnel money into tax-advantaged retirement accounts. If you have a job with a 401k or similar plan, make sure you're contributing at least enough to get the full employer match. If offered, that employer match is basically free money, a 100% return on your contribution instantly. For example, if your employer matches up to 5% of your salary and you contribute that 5%, they'll put in the same amount. You've doubled your money right there. Don't leave that on the table. If they don't offer a 401k plan, consider opening an IRA, individual retirement account, either a traditional or a Roth IRA. With a traditional IRA, you get an upfront tax deduction. With a Roth IRA, you contribute post-tax dollars, but your money grows tax-free, and you won't pay taxes on withdrawals in retirement. For many, a Roth IRA is a fantastic deal. Imagine enjoying decades of investment gains completely tax-free. As of now, you can contribute up to about $7,000 per year to an IRA if you're under 50. So you could take a chunk of that $10,000 and fully fund an IRA for this year. Investing in these retirement vehicles now harnesses the power of compound interest. The money you put in today could grow exponentially over the next 10, 20, 30 years. By maxing out contributions, or at least contributing something, you're setting your future up for comfort and possibly even an earlier retirement. Your 65-year-old self will thank you profusely for doing this now. 4. Put your money to work. Invest wisely. After covering the essentials, emergency fund, debt, and retirement accounts, you should still have some money ready to work for you. Don't let the rest just sit idle in the bank. It's time to invest wisely in order to grow your wealth and outpace inflation. A sensible approach for most people is to put the money into diversified, low-cost investments. You can start with a simple index fund or ETF, exchange-traded fund. For example, you could invest in an S&P 500 index fund, which essentially buys you tiny pieces of 500 of the largest companies in the country. Over the long run, the stock market has historically returned around 7 to 10% annually. While past performance isn't a guarantee of the future, a broad index fund is one of the least risky risky ways to get those average returns because you're spread out across many companies. Consider this. If you invest, say, $5,000 of your money in a stock index fund and it earns an average of 8% a year, in 10 years, that single move could turn into roughly $10,800. In 20 years, potentially around $23,000. That's the power of compounding. Your money makes money, and then the earnings make even more money. You're effectively giving each dollar a job to bring back a few friends. Now it's important to align investments with your goals and risk tolerance. If you might need the money within a couple of years, say for a house down payment, you might choose more conservative options, like short-term bonds or keeping it in high-yield savings for safety. But if this is money you can leave alone for the long term, stocks and index funds are a great way to grow it. You could also consider a robo-advisor service if you prefer a hands-off approach. They'll automatically invest your money based on your goals and rebalance it for you. The key takeaway is, put those dollars to work sooner rather than later. Every day your $10,000 sits idle is a day it's not growing. Even small, steady returns will beat a 0% bank account, and your future self will be glad you started now. 5. Invest in yourself and plan for bigger goals. Lastly, remember that your own earning power is one of the biggest drivers of wealth. Using some of that $10,000 to invest in yourself can pay off hugely. This might mean learning new skills, obtaining a certification, or even starting a small side business you're passionate about. For example, you could spend a fraction of your money on an online course or workshop that helps you land a higher paying job or a promotion. If a $500 course today leads you to earn an extra $5,000 per year down the line, that's an incredible return on investment. Or perhaps you've always wanted to start a side hustle. Use a bit of your savings as seed capital to get it off the ground. When you invest in improving yourself, you increase your future earning potential, which can dwarf the returns of any stock market investment. At the same time, start planning for your next big financial goals. $10,000 is a great start, but what's next? Maybe you want to double it to $20,000. Save for a down payment on a house or work toward financial independence. Set clear goals and keep that momentum going. Having a target in mind will motivate you to save and invest consistently rather than letting that $10,000 slowly dwindle. It could be as simple as aiming to save an extra $500 a month, or as ambitious as working toward the FIRE, financial independence, retire early lifestyle. Think about where you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years, and let this $10,000 seed be the seed that grows into that vision. And one more thing, as your wealth builds, stay humble and avoid lifestyle inflation. Don't suddenly upgrade your car or splurge on expensive gadgets just because you have a cushion. By all means, enjoy life and reward yourself for milestones, but remember that every dollar you keep working for you now is many more dollars for you later. Having $10,000 in the bank opens up a world of opportunities. By following these 5 steps, protecting yourself with an emergency fund, eliminating bad debt, investing in your retirement, growing your money in the market, and investing in yourself, you're covering all the bases. You're ensuring that money doesn't just sit or disappear. Instead, it becomes a tool for building wealth and security. If you take these actions, you'll not only make that $10,000 count, but you'll likely look back one day with a much larger net worth and be so grateful you made these moves when you did. This is how you turn a simple $10,000 into a foundation for true financial freedom.